Hello, fanboys and girls, and welcome to the Fanboy Fight Club podcast, episode 11, brought to you by Media Junkies. Every Tuesday, we grace your ears with a new or classic episode for your listening enjoyment. You can listen to previous episodes of this show and also check out the other podcasts that Media Junkie offers, like our Division 2 podcast called Rogue Agents, our wrestling podcast called The Gimmick Minute, or our new podcast, Why Are You a Gamer? By searching Media Junkies in your favorite podcast app and searching our channels. So if you're using Apple Podcasts, don't forget to leave us a 5-star review. You can also leave us your feedback on Twitter or Instagram at Media Junkie Vids. My name is Jason. I have the honor of hosting this show. It's time to introduce you to the rest of the fanboys, and we're going to enter the ring for the main event. That's where the Fight Club part comes in, so let's get everything started. We have our full cast of characters on this week's show. First, we got the brains of Media Junkie Wes. How you doing?
Dude, that was a flawless intro for the first time ever.
That's the first time on any of the podcasts. Like, I can't even get that shit on Gimmick Minute.
3 years, and you finally got it.
See, I can't think about it. I just have to fly off the cuff, and I'm good.
So what we've learned is not to let you read the script, just let you go.
Yeah, right. Just turn it on and don't give me any time to think in between, and I'm good.
That sounds really terrible. Just turn me on and let me go.
Damn straight. All right. Next, we have the host of the new Why Are You Gamer podcast and co-founder of Media Junkie, Jarmar. What's going on, man?
What's up? Hashtag Why Are You Play Games? It's a joke. If you watch the episode, you'll
man.
get it.
Oh, I was like,
you need a better hashtag. The Going Rogue one kind of flows a little better than that.
Oh, Jesus.
It's a joke. Watch the episode. It was really
joke.
amazing. You'll get it.
All right. So listen to the first episode when it posts and you'll understand the joke. So, all right. And the man who interacts on all the Fanboy Fight Club social media accounts, we got Jake. What's up, man?
Oh, I just ran for 90 minutes for the first time in a long time, and I'm dying. So there's that.
Why the fuck would you do that?
Did you steal a car
awful.
radio? Like, why are you running?
Did an animal escape from the zoo?
Yeah, no, I'm down in Phoenix this weekend, and my brother was playing a pickup game of soccer. So I was like, sure, I'll play, and I haven't played in like 11 years, so I'm fucking sore.
First of all, who steals a fucking car radio anymore, Wes? That reference was so like 1998.
I appreciate that.
I might as well have been running down the street with a TV VCR combo.
That's how you get a real workout, man.
Then finally, we have one of my co-hosts on the Gimmick Minute Wrestling podcast, and the person behind all of the graphics that you see on all of our pages and podcast apps and things like that, and the guy who designs our t-shirts. We got Michael. What's going on?
Well, nobody's buying our shit. That's what's going on. So you motherfuckers need to go to tpublic.com. And everyone except for Jason. Jason's buying a bunch of shirts.
Hey, I bought one. You shut your mouth.
Yeah, Jake bought one, but no one else is. So
Christmas is around the corner, and I asked for them for Christmas.
Oh my gosh.
I'm talking about people who might actually be listening too. So go to tpublic.com, search Media Junkie or Gimmick Minute or Fanboy Fight Club, and buy our shit.
All right.
Also, is it graphics or giraffics?
Hey, leave my dyslexic spelling when I'm trying to rush to do this before the show
That's not
starts.
dyslexia, Jason.
No, that was
close.
No, I was giving you. I was just because it's like the GIF argument.
Okay. All
Somebody's
right.
like, well, you don't pronounce it it's graphics, not graphics.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh, you threw me off there. I thought that was just a crack in my spelling because that's.
Yeah, I
what
assumed you
everybody
fucked up
seems to do.
somewhere in.
No, that was
The sheet
100% a non sequitur. I apologize.
All good. All right, awesome. All right, so I am the bitch of the week, so I have to battle this week. So tonight's judges are going to be Michael and Jake. So I'm going to go ahead and, well, actually before that, did anybody have anything they wanted to bring up? Any like games they're playing, movies they saw, anything they want to talk about other than just getting right to it?
No.
I finished the Star Wars Fallen Order, and that's pretty fucking good.
Don't say anything.
It's pretty solid. So
We've been playing a lot of Modern Warfare. I don't know.
We
if that's
have been playing a ton
for
of Modern Warfare.
discussion.
Yeah, that's pretty much all we've been playing, sadly.
Yeah, and
That's out tomorrow.
And it's funny too because I think we had like some like really fun nights, and then like last night, I don't know if maybe we just played it too much or we were all just tired from like the hangover from the holidays and shit. But last night just fucking sucked.
Did Wes fall asleep while playing again?
Oh no, we probably would have been better if that would have happened.
Yeah. I haven't fallen asleep in a long time, Jake. Thank you.
And also, for the record, the worst part of the night was the fact that every round Wes would be like, "Man, I'm really sucking," as he's at the top of our team.
Every fucking round. I'm always on top, but I can still suck and be on top.
It just says more about the rest of the team when he sucks on top.
But he has 18 kills and like 2 deaths.
Oh my god.
This sounds very sexual. Let's move on.
All right, so as I was saying...
you guys should play Rainbow Six, just saying.
Now, I was just going to give us an excuse and say that all the tryhards were on vacation and we played on a Saturday night. So, that's okay.
All right.
We'll be back on top.
We'll be back on top tonight, right? All right. So like I was saying before, I am the bitch of the week, so I have to battle this week. So I'm going to pass things off to our judges, who are Michael and Jake. So you guys get us started.
All right. Welcome to the main event. So this week's topic is going to be each fanboy defending a universally hated property that they actually like, except for Jason. He didn't get to choose.
Right.
So how the main event works is the first round is an intro round. They explain what they chose and why they chose it and, what good traits it might have. Round 2 is going to be a fuck you round. They get 30 seconds each to attack each other. Round 3, they each get 30 seconds to defend all the things that were thrown their way. And in the final round, it's their closing argument of why they shouldn't be bitch of the week and why they should win this week. Now, in between each round, me and Jake are going to give them points, kind of based around how we felt about whether it's their argument or in the first rounds, their property and how they defended it, a multitude of different things. And the goal of it all, on top of winning, is to just not lose, because nobody wants to be the bitch of the week, especially Jason, because then he'll be the first ever double bitch of the week.
Yeah, that shit ain't happening.
All right, so we're going to tell you who's fighting tonight. In the blue corner, we have I guess he's now the host of the Why Are You a Gamer? I can't really use the rogue agent thing anymore. So the host of Why Are You a Gamer, Jarmar. In the red corner, we have our resident juggalo, the one and only Wes.
God damn it!
Perfect.
At least it's
So
not
good.
that. At least it's not that bullshit like Frappuccino or whatever bullshit you guys did for years of my life.
You should have said in the Fago corner.
Oh,
And thank you for reminding me about the Frappuccinos.
Right?
Totally bring that back.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything nice about you hosting anymore.
And then finally, in the bitch corner, we have our loser from last week, Jason.
Yay.
You sound so excited to be in your position.
Yes.
So we did not set up a lineup for who's going first. So I'll have to figure that out real quick. While I do that, Jake, are you going to be keeping track of time for me? Once we get to round 2 and 3?
It's going to be a little bit difficult.
I mean, I can, but, I'm already keeping score, so I was, trying not to do all the work.
Well, yeah, but I'm on a phone. Hang on, give me a second.
I'm on a phone, too.
Yeah, but in your house where you have a computer and crap.
Tech, I love it.
You're getting yelled at for saying crap.
I can do the timer.
No, I'll do the timer. It's not a big deal.
Wes has been going for 2 minutes.
Oh my God.
All right.
What is going on in this show?
I don't know, but someone needs to mute their shit real quick.
Those are actual children.
Yeah.
Well, those actual children need punched in the face.
Mike doesn't like kids, so if you listen to the show, there are some of us on the show that do like kids, so don't turn us off.
Kids
That
are
would
awful,
be all of us.
and you should feel bad. All right,
There's a
so
couple
I've
of
at
us
least
that
got
didn't
2
have a
rounds
few,
figured out. So we are going to start with Wes.
Okay, sorry, I just had to throw up. Jesus Christ. Okay,
That was your bud.
so this week's topic delves into defending a property that's universally hated. So I had two topics to choose, or two ideas to choose from this week. And it came down to the wire, and I chose the topic I wanted to use today. So I rewatched it, and it still holds up. Doesn't deserve the hate that it gets, and that's Super Mario Brothers, the movie. So I think the movie doesn't deserve the hate that it gets. Is it different? Yeah, and no at the same time. It is different because you're going through that this future dystopia, but all the characters are still there. You still got Bomb, you still got Bullet Bill. Like a lot of the pieces are still there, and I think the film is very inventive of how it presents its ideas. So think about the Super Mario games in general. Turning them into a movie would be weird no matter what, unless it's animated. And I know they're going to be making an animated movie, and it's going to be pretty close to the games, but how are you going to return that into a live action movie? So they hired the guys that did Max Headroom, and they kind of just went out there and took their ideas and took it into this really inventive future dystopia land. And I thought it actually worked. It would have been really weird to see Mario jumping on top of the mushrooms or on top of turtles and crushing them to death and their blood and guts shooting out everywhere. So I'm glad they didn't go that route. So the movie, like I said, is fun and inventive, and the cast does a great job acting throughout the film. Highlights on it are obviously Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo. I think John Leguizamo as Luigi is a perfect fit. I think he's a great actor in general, and I think he's a great to play off of Bob Hoskins. Obviously, the villain is great as well. He's a phenomenal villain. He plays pretty much villains in all his movies. And playing Koopa, I think he did a really good job. So I applaud the producers for trying to think outside the box and delivering a fun film, especially when most movie games are not very good. I mean, you can look at House of the Dead, Blood Rain, pretty much anything Uwe Boll does. But I do think Super Mario Brothers, the movie, does hold up. Personally, like I said, I rewatched it today, and it was a lot of fun. My kids watched it, and they had a lot of fun with it too. So I think there's a market for it, and I think it was just wrongfully hated when it came out. And that's my topic.
All right. So that brings us next to Jarmar.
Oh my. So yours is a lot more sweet and simple, but I feel like I really have to put on for my my topic or my movie, I guess is what I'll call it. So I'm going with a film that I believe is criminally hated on, almost to a point where I don't think the motive is just the movie anymore. So my film is Fantastic Four 2015 release. Now, before you groan, I'm just going to tell you, shut the fuck up. Okay, so first, we have a 9% on Rotten Tomato, 27% on Metacritic, and a 5 out of 10 on IGN. That's just fucking insane. So let me start by saying this. I am in no way saying that this is a masterpiece of a movie. I just want to make sure that's clear. But for this movie to be determined like the worst comic book movie of all time is fucking insane. So first, I just went back and I looked at a bunch of reviews. I literally was just scrolling through that and like, what could be possibly wrong with this movie? Because when I watched it, I thought it was amazing. After rewatching it, I thought it was still pretty good. So the main things that I saw in these reviews from Rotten Tomato, wherever, YouTube video, trailer, comments, it basically boiled down to two things. It was the plot and it was the cast. So I'm going to talk about the plot first. So I really don't understand mainly how this film is being like slammed in the plot, because it's not like the same as the source material. But at the same time, people are saying that it's completely unoriginal, which I don't know. I don't understand. So I think a lot of the changes, honestly, for this adaptation of this series was really good. I loved how the family dynamics changed. Instead of them just being like one big happy family, they were like estranged. It was kind of weird. So like Susan was adopted in air quotes. Like Reed was just some kid who like had an amazing brain and had like a really great shared passion for science. And then Johnny, he just kind of rebelled against his dad, and his dad was like, no, you need to fucking do this because I'm trying to keep you out of trouble. You know, didn't happen. But anyways, I also like that Ben was just kind of ride or die for his friend. Like they were like best friends. They kind of met as kids, and he was ride or down. So he kind of like wanted to be closer to his friend, and that's what kind of got him into this mess to begin with. So like, I'm not gonna rehash the whole story, but they basically get their powers. And this thing here, this is what really, really bothers me from a lot of reviews, but they get their powers like any normal person who would work on they basically worked on this thing for a very long time. Kind of goes through a time span, but they wanted to be the first people to use this matter transporter. They wanted to be the ones who got the recognition, which any of us would do that. Wes, you would do it. I would do it. So it's all good. But anyways, they did this, and people were like actually saying that that's completely unbelievable and that they wouldn't actually have done this, that these kids were stupid because they got drunk and got into this machine. That's insane. Like, this is what comic book movies are about. And happenstance that happens, and you get powers. They didn't seem like they wanted these powers. They actually kind of regretted it at the end, but they kind of was thrusted into this role. And that's something I thought that we don't see often in comic book movies. So that's my thing on the plot. The last thing I'm going to do something really quick as well, because casting is something that really fired me up. I was so confused. Everyone kept saying that the characters didn't fit the actors. And I'm like, this is so fucking insane, because the characters like almost embodied, like, I mean, I'm probably biased because I love, as you guys know, I love Michael B. Jordan, but I think these characters did a great job with the role. Susan was really believable as kind of like the nerd who was like, I don't want to get in trouble, but she did anyways. Like Johnny, okay, he's black. It happened. Everyone was upset. Blah, blah, blah. This movie sucked. It's doomed. Blah, 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 blah. Honestly, in 2015, I thought that was something that was really progressive, and I thought it was a cool idea to flip that on its head. But I guess we weren't past that. I guess we just still aren't ready to have black characters play white roles. But it's all good. I'm not going to get mad about it. But I'm also going to say that that was probably a huge factor and adding to the controversy before the release. So with that being said, I'm not going to keep going on because I have a lot of deep feelings about this movie after watching it again. But another thing is the tone and the bad CGI. It's just crazy. Just crazy. But I'm not going to keep going arguing. I'm ready to defend this shit right now. So that's all I have to say. There's a lot.
Damn.
But that's all I have to say.
Damn.
Jarmar is coming out swinging already. All right. So you know what this means. By process of elimination, we are down to the bitch of the week. Jason, please let us know what you've got this week.
Oh, God. Okay, well, my movie earned every bit of its 11% score on Rotten Tomatoes. Critics called it corny, over the top, and cringeworthy. I think it's safe to say that Joel Schumacher's 1997 classic Batman and Robin is a movie that is universally hated. As the bitch of the week, it's obvious that I wasn't able to choose my own topic, but that being said, it deserves more credit than what it's gotten over the years. First, let's look at the star-studded cast. We got George Clooney as Bruce Wayne. We got Bruce Wayne / Batman, an unassuming playboy that fights crime at night. On paper, it seems like a perfect fit. Chris O'Donnell, he's back to reprise his role as Robin. He was very successful in that role in Batman Forever, right? They also brought in Alicia Silverstone, who was at the time, kind of a hot actress that coming off her success in movies like Clueless, and that's really about it, right? To play Batgirl, right? And then on the villain side, we had a star-studded cast there too. Uma Thurman, come on, Poison Ivy. I mean, you couldn't find anybody better for that role. And we actually got a comic book version of Bane, which was what everybody kind of wanted, right? The big hulked out guy. I don't even know who played him, and it really doesn't matter because he just ran through walls. That's all you want Bane to do. He had the look, he had everything. And then the piece de la resistance, right? The main villain, Mr. Freeze, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger. So say what you want about the casting choice there, because Arnold, he's a big guy. But how many times have we had the same argument where we've been upset that these villains don't come across as intimidating or somebody that could beat up Batman? Arnold Schwarzenegger fits that bill. He's a big guy. He's intimidating. He fit that suit well. And you can also say what you want about, his role in the movie, but most of what people remember are the Mr. Freeze one-liners. I mean, come on, right? So, man, as universally it's hated, but when you talk to kids in that generation, they all look at it very fondly. Like I, in preparation for this, I talked to a few people about it. Like, man, I love that movie. What do you mean it's hated? Then you go back and look at the reviews and you rewatch it, and maybe it doesn't quite hold up as well as what you would think it would, but it was still, for its time, a good movie. Not to mention it led to some great toy lines, lots of toys out there that came as a result of this. So we got people making money off of that. So for all its flaws, Batman and Robin had positives, and it played a significant role in history where the Batman franchise would eventually go. So for that, I think it can be defended as a decent movie for its time. That's all I got to say.
All right. Well, that wraps up round one. Jake, do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first for points?
You can go first.
All right. So this round obviously is going to be a lot harder than what we usually do because it's not you coming up with an original idea. So it's kind of more just who had the more believable passion for their choice. So my number one pick is Jarmar. He came out, and I honestly believe that he enjoyed that terrible movie. So he's going to get 2 points from me on that one. And in second place, I'm going to go with Jason, just because despite the fact that he didn't even get to choose his, he still kind of, it was believable, all the points that he was making. Like, it almost felt like he actually did feel this way, even if he doesn't. So that is, now let's hear from Jake.
Yeah, I mean, I really actually liked what all of them did. They all, did a very good job. So this is actually really tough for me. I was having to think about it. That's why I wanted you to go first, because I had to think even more about it. And I think, I think I'm going to go with Jarmar, Wes, and then Jason, I think is what I have. Like, you guys all did great. Like, I'm not trying to, say Jason shouldn't have earned a point, but it's just the way the cards fell. So.
All right, so there we have it. So now we're going to move on to round two, which is fuck everyone else. And in this round, each fanboy will get 30 seconds to basically tear down each other. And we're going to start off with Jarmar. Let me know when you're ready, and I'll get your 30 seconds on the clock.
Dude, I'm ready.
All right, and go.
All right, Wes. Great choice, man. You choose a movie that was based off a video game designed for kids, and what we got instead was pedophiles looking like they're posing as plumbers. It wasn't a garbage movie by all means, but it was definitely nightmare fuel. Next, Jason. I'm so sorry, man. You got a bad deal. Campy movies in the 90s were typically good when you look back on them, but definitely not in this case. Even as a child, it was just so cheesy. You could tell that they were just like, hey, let me get the most... Oh, shit, you threw me off. I was like, hey, let me just get the most highest paid actors to try and make a good movie.
And time.
It didn't work with Batman vs. Superman.
And time. I even gave you an extra 2 seconds since I threw you off trying to let you know you had 5 seconds left. All right.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's like the longest 5 seconds ever.
Yeah, I gave him a few extras because I felt bad that I fucked him up.
Can I say, all right. That's what she said?
Cool. All right. So next we have Jason. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right, and go.
Dude, Bob Hoskins, the guy from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and John Leguizamo, if you could say that correctly. Dude, could you have picked like two creepier fucking actors for those roles? So, and they just gave up like a stalker vibe, right? And Jarmar, man, dude, I have a hard time with this one. Like, oh, boo hoo, they fell into these powers. Wah. Like, I don't care about superheroes. I don't care about how they have powers. I would love that powers.
All right. So that leaves us with Wes. Let me know when you're ready.
Get your ears ready because I'm going to be fucking going off.
Oh, buddy. I'm going to turn down my volume for this one.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, no, you don't turn the volume down. Just like, you got to pick up on the words. I'm going to be saying a lot.
All right. So let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
And go.
Fantastic Four, the movie didn't work. Tim Blake Nelson didn't want to be there. Miles Teller hated the movie, and the director didn't support the release. Hell, the director tweeted the day the movie was released and stated it could have been great. The behind-the-scenes drama was more interesting than the movie itself, and Stan Lee declined to cameo. Batman and Robin, the film has some of the most worst writing possible. For example, here's a list of ice puns into our film. Winter has come at last. The Iceman cometh. Tonight, hell freezes over. My condition has left me cold. Cool party. You're not sending me to the cooler. Stay cool. All right, everyone, chill. It's a cold town. Tonight's forecast, a freeze is coming. What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age.
And time. Oh, shit. Oh, man.
Every single ice pun in that fucking movie.
Ooh, damn. All right, Jake, am I going first, or are you on this one? Well, I guess I'm going to go first.
Yeah, sorry, I had to unmute. But yeah, go first.
All right. Oh man. Well, this one is real easy. My top spot goes to Wes. I mean, that was fucking impressive as hell. Just between shit you were saying and the fact that you managed to quote every single ice pun in that movie. So you're gonna get my top spot, and then my second spot. Ah, man, that one. It was really close for me, but I'm gonna go with Jarmar. I feel like he came at it with a little more fire. All right, so Ruffle Jake, it's your turn. Where are your points going?
Yeah, I definitely agree. Wes kind of came with the fire on that one. And yeah, I'm just going to have to agree all the way down. So.
All right, so you're doing Wes top and then Jarmar?
Yeah.
All right, so this means we are moving on to round 3, the Don't Come For Me round. So this round, you're each getting 30 seconds to basically defend all the shit that was just thrown in your face. So Jason, you were up first. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right, here we go, and go.
All both of you did was just reiterate the same shit that I said. Jarmar, you said it was cheesy and had high-paid actors. I said that already, and I didn't pick Batman versus Superman, so why even bring that shit into the argument? Wes, you also made my point. What you remember are those one-liners. Yeah, they might have been corny, they might have been cheesy, but they stand out and you remember them. So that's a positive in my book. So thanks for reiterating everything that I said in my opening argument to try to use it against me. Appreciate it.
And time. All right, so next we are going to have Wes. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right, and go.
All right. Jarmar said pedophiles posing as plumbers. What are you talking about? Doesn't make any sense. And you stated the movie is nightmare fuel. The game is nightmare fuel. The sun tries to fucking kill you. Jason said, Bob Hoskins, pick 2 creepier actors for the role. Don't you dare talk shit about my Hoskins. He was in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which is an amazing fucking film, and I think he's an Oscar winner. And John, and yes, I mispronounced his last name. I'm even going to try it again. He's an amazing actor who's made a ton of fucking great films.
And time. Whew, all right, hot damn. This round is definitely a lot more aggressive than the last one. So, are we sure we're not still in the fuck everyone else round?
I love you guys.
Wait till after I go.
So yeah, it's Jamar's turn. So let me know when you're ready, buddy.
Deep breath. Okay, I'm good.
All right, and go.
Wes, it would figure you would bring up the behind the scenes shit because that's your thing. But you got to realize most moviegoers didn't even know that shit existed because actually it doesn't matter. All it really matters is what on the screen itself. And that was what I'm trying to make a point about. Also, Jason, come on, man. It seems like you actually like this movie that I'm arguing for. So you probably should have just supported me instead of making an argument because you said you didn't care about powers. That's a superhero movie. I'm sorry, man. I didn't know if you knew that or not. I know you're getting old, but hey, it's powers are in superhero movies, and they didn't want the powers, and that's something different.
Damn, going for his age. Ouch.
Right?
That was my point. Like they're crying over not wanting the powers. Wham. I don't give a shit about that.
Hey, everyone had their turn. Calm down.
And
all
just
right.
clear, I never saw the movie, so
that's okay. I literally saw it only because I was trying to fall asleep one night and it was on HBO, and instead I was just in horror for 2 hours. But anyway,
and then you couldn't sleep.
Yeah, I was busy trying to figure out what the fuck I watched. So I'll go first again in case you need to unmute again.
You just heard me talk.
True. Sorry, every other time I've asked if you want me to go first or not, you take like 10 minutes to answer. So figured I'd just jump ahead and let. This one is really, really hard. All three of you just came out with great arguments against everything. Surprisingly enough, Jason's going to take my number one spot for this one. Man. I think I have to go with Wes for my number two. Like, it was super close between you and Jarmar, but I feel like you kind of came out a little more heat than Jarmar did there at the end. So Wes is going to get my second spot. So Jake, where are you at?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I think Jarmar definitely brought some fire, but actually, let's not get into it. I'm just going to agree. I don't want to abuse or say anything that can be used later. So,
all right. So you're going with Jason and Wes?
Yep.
Well, at this point, it's getting into the closing argument, so we really can't really say too much bad about each other at this point. Right?
We've got him reined in. Don't ruin it.
All right, sorry, my fault.
You still can, because what I would say could be used later, and I'm not going to do that to anybody anymore.
All right. So this is the final round. This is the closing arguments, where you have one last chance to sway us in your favor. I'll tell you right now, it's definitely a close race for second place. So this could make or break somebody for Bitch of the Week. You have no time limit, so we're going to start with Jarmar whenever you're ready.
I'm ready, sir.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, first I just want to point out, every movie has a dark history and story leading up to it. That's actually pretty interesting. But I just want to close this out on a little bit different note. Again, I want to stress that I am in no way saying, again, this movie is perfect. I'm not even really saying it's great. But for sure, I know without a doubt that this movie is not the worst comic book movie and doesn't even dare to be deserved, or doesn't even begin to be deserved to share the same likes of Daredevil or Green Lantern. I looked those movies up. Green Lantern has a 27% on Rotten Tomato. And this movie gets a 9? It's insane. Also, some other movies, I looked up Batman vs. Superman. That was sitting around 50%. Justice League, around 50%. Again, 9. Now, you know in the bottom of your heart that this movie does not deserve a 9%. I don't care how bad a movie is. There's movies that just literally could just throw a turd on the screen. It shouldn't be a 9%. But that's neither here nor there. Where this movie belongs, it needs to be right around Incredible Hulk, or at least in the same conversation as like the original X-Men movies. Sure, they weren't like star-studded Oscar-winning movies, but they were serviceable, and they were comic book movies. They're designed to make you think a little bit, have a little bit of fun, and see what you could see or learn something new about these characters. And I think this movie did each one of those things in a really great way. I just can't stress enough. And then there's one other thing. This movie has a lower Rotten Tomato score than Dark Phoenix. Are you fucking kidding me? That's all I have to say.
Oh man, whew, I did not know that. That's rough. Oh man,
not right.
All right. So next up we have Jason. Whenever you're ready.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, listening to this podcast, along with our two Steve, I want to start off by giving kudos to my competition tonight. It's hard to defend something that the rest of the world hates. I get that Batman and Robin fell short of amazing. For all the negative things that have been said about it, let's take a look at the positive changes it affected. Without the absolute dumpster fire that is Batman and Robin, George Clooney may have never reevaluated his career and been more selective of his movie roles. Chris O'Donnell may not be starting along LL Cool J in NCIS Los Angeles. Alicia Silverstone may have continued to get big-budget movie roles. Now the most important implication. Batman films could have continued to be presented in this colorful, goofy form. There would have been no reboot. We may have never gotten the Christopher Nolan Batman films. We owe Joel Schumacher and the cast of Batman and Robin a huge thank you. Thank you for phoning in your performances. Thank you for making a Batman film that is so corny, so over the top, and so cringeworthy that the franchise lay dead for nearly 8 years before it was resurrected for an amazing trilogy. The defense rests. Thank you.
Damn. Fucking Joel
Jeez.
Schumacher's attorney just showed up and took over Jason's
Follow
phone.
that, Wes.
Jason just went Phoenix Wright on everybody. Objection!
All right, so that leaves us with Wes. Whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I mean, that was fucking solid, Jason. I don't even know how to follow that, but I guess I'll try. So, Super Mario Brothers. Obviously, when you think of the film, you think video game movies are garbage, right? And Super Mario Brothers may not be the best film. It may not be the best film out of these three, but the film is fun. It's a film that you can go back to, and you can get that nostalgic feeling. And it kicks off with the Super Mario theme song at the very beginning. Like, that's fucking amazing, especially with the graphics, pixelated and coming in. And just seeing these characters on the big screen when they get their red and green jumpsuits, it is a great feeling. And like, who can forget the Goombas? Yeah, they were real tall with tiny heads, but that's nostalgic. When you think of Goombas, you think of those Goombas either from the game or in that movie. I mean, you could think of those Goombas, and they're in your goddamn head. The movie actually has a huge cult following. So much so, there's a website, smbarchive.com, that archives every single piece of development of this movie. And there's a massive collection of fans out there that love this movie. And I'm a fan of this movie. I could watch this video game movie more than most video game movies. And what other movie are you going to have where there's a super scope that's painted to be a de-evolution gun that de-evolves people from humans to monkeys, or from Koopa to a T-Rex, right? No other movie's going to have that. Is Batman and Robin going to have a super scope painted? No. Is Fantastic Four going to have a super scope painted? Definitely not. Only Super Mario Brothers has that. Enjoy it. I really don't have much to say about it. It's a great movie. If you haven't seen it in a long time, rewatch it. I think you will be pleasantly surprised that it holds up.
My God, I wish you would have brought that website up in your opening argument.
So are you saying that props make the movie? That's like, are you trying to say that Star Wars is amazing because they use an ice cream maker?
Hell yeah! No. I mean,
it is.
Which, by the way, if you guys didn't know this, the thing that have you guys watched Mandalorian? I'm assuming you all have.
Yeah.
The thing that the Mandalorian gets that's filled with like the armor bars, that's the same ice cream maker thing
From Empire Strikes Back, where they're in
where the guy's just running in the background with an ice cream maker. Yeah, they made it like officially canon now. Like, that's what it is. It holds things inside of it.
It holds expensive shit. Yeah.
Props absolutely, make or break a movie.
All right, Mike, go.
So I know I'm letting you go first this time. You're not muted, so have at it.
Fuck. Okay. I guess that doesn't make me feel bad because I won't be the decider. If it's that close, at least. Man, it's kind of. You guys all did great, like on all of the rounds. This is like probably the hardest it's been for me to judge. But I'm going to have to probably say, I gotta go Jason Wes Jarmar.
All right. So it's 2 for Jason, 1 for Wes. All right. Oh man. Yeah, I mean, my number one spot was pretty much decided. But number 2 was really close. Jason, your argument there at the end with just bringing up the fact that if it wasn't for this movie, we wouldn't have had amazing Batman movies and all the repercussions that came from it. Like that was a good point. So that definitely helped you. So you got my number 1 spot. Wes, you genuinely in that last round sounded like you loved this movie, and I feel like that's the one thing that hurt you in the first round is it didn't seem like you were real into it, and then you kind of came back. So you got my number 2 spot. Jarmar, the only thing that hurt you for me is you kind of used Rotten Tomatoes a little too much of a crutch there at the end for my liking. So I'm going with Jason and then Wes. So let's tally up the points, and let's see who our new bitch of the week is.
I have to agree. Like, I didn't explain my ratings, but Mike just did perfectly. Like, I feel the same way about a lot of it. So just throwing that out there.
All right. So Ironically, what originally was going to be our tie for second place turned into our tie for first place. So tied at 9 points apiece, we have Jason and Wes. So
Wow.
Jason, you are safe. You are not the double bitch of the week.
Yes.
However, unfortunately, Jarmar with 6 points is going to be our bitch of the week for the next episode.
Oh man, sorry, Jarmar.
No, it's fine. I was shot down just like this movie was. It's okay.
All right, so Jamar, are you saying so? Am I
I'm
the
saying,
only one that
I'm saying
thinks
it's not a great movie. I'm saying it does not deserve to be called the worst comic book movie.
No. I totally agree with you on that statement. No, what I'm saying is, am I the only one in this group that thinks Dark Phoenix was better than Apocalypse?
I mean, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Was it not?
Wait,
Like,
I think
by no means is Dark Phoenix good,
both are.
but I
garbage.
hated Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix.
Phoenix-
I felt like there was more entertaining.
But Dark
The problem-
Phoenix was definitely better than it.
the problem with Dark Phoenix is there felt like parts of the movie just wasn't done. Like they were like, oh, well, we'll just make this scene. It's okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
get
I
that.
mean, also, while
Which
they
is
were in
why-
production, Disney bought the company that was making it, so they were just like, well, fuck it. This is the last one anyway.
Yeah, we all know Jonah Hex is the worst comic book movie.
Oh, God, yeah.
I was going to say Electra
Oh yeah, or Electra.
Oh, yeah.
or the
I
Halle
forgot
Berry
about
Catwoman, but
That's definitely hands down the worst one.
all rated higher, just so you know, like on Metacritic and Rotten Tomato. I'm just naming out facts.
so all right.
Yeah, but all right, so that's gonna wrap up the main event. I'm gonna send it back to Jason to close us out.
All right, cool. All right, well, that was a lot of fun. So, sorry, Jarmar. I'm glad I'm not. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for listening to this week's Fanboy Fight Club podcast. We are Media Junkies' flagship podcast, but we do offer so much more. You can catch Michael and I on the Gimmick Minute Wrestling podcast and interact with us on Twitter at Live Your Gimmick. That's live without the E, your gimmick. You can also find information on the Division 2 on our backlog episodes of the Rogue Agents podcast. So go ahead and check that out if you're a Division 2 fan. You can also check out Jamar's new podcast, Why Are You a Gamer? And that should be posting when?
it will be available tomorrow, which if you're
Ooh.
listening to this episode, that was yesterday.
All
And I
right.
have to say it was absolutely a amazing episode for the first one. I had Wes on. It was really, really fucking good. And I'm not saying that because he's my best friend and he's on the show.
Honestly, I feel like this is a little biased. So your first guest is your best friend, and it was a
No.
really good episode.
I don't know.
You're going to get to my episode and be like, oh, why am I doing this goddamn podcast? This is terrible.
Listen to it. I think I brought a lot to the table.
All right. And then you can also check out all the .com/media junkie. What?
What are we checking out?
You cut out.
Shit. Hold on.
You disappeared for a good second and a half there.
I legit thought my phone died, and I was like, shit.
I thought Jason's internet cut out again like that one time.
No. All right. So what I was saying is you can check out the amazing content we have on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/media junkie. And you can interact with us, specifically, Jake, on the Fanboy Fight Club Facebook page or tweet our Twitter at FBFC Podcast. So I was a little distracted by the battle, so I don't have something set for everybody this week, but I do have a couple of different questions I want to leave everybody with. Like, will Wes actually check that website that he mentioned? And will Jarmar check his argument on Rotten Tomatoes? Find out the answers to all these questions and more on the next episode of the Fanboy Fight Club podcast. Goodbye, everybody.
Thank God no one chose Green Lantern.